Not Tuesday, not any other day than you usually see me, but we were doing a live right now because, hey, I was doing some painting. I was busy recording our Trek Files season finale. I thought that would be it. I thought I could go back to painting. But no, we have this news today. This mixed bag of news, bittersweet news. So, yay on Strange New Worlds' season 4 renewal pickup order. Yay. And at the same time, corporately, hope that that would at least be a 50-50 mix with the bittersweet news. And, Mike McMahon, showrunner, had been kind of prepping the world for it, as crazy as the streaming model is right now, much less what's going on with Paramount and future ownership and all that, and how is Paramount Plus affected. The news that Lower Decks is going to be ending after its 5th season, which is being prepped now. Now, to people's credit, in the old days, most shows, especially the non-streaming old linear network model, shows would finish a season and then get canceled. Say, like, famously Star Trek in 1968. And then you'd have to have any campaign afterwards, after the plug had been pulled. What's happening now is, as these long-form shows, long developing shows are being developed, they're, just like with Discovery, they're canceled in time to let the last season feel more like a victory lap and have a planned ending, rather than feel like the rug was jerked out from underneath it. Looking at you, turnabout intruder. No, look, people are reacting, of course, today. Yes, of course, the strategy there is to release the good news and bad news so that one overshadows the other. So it's not a completely negative day. But what's happening is even Anson and the Strange New World cast and crew they're celebrating and cheering the news, but the ones who are looking out for the good of the whole franchise are feeling a little guilty about celebrating too much because they don't want to see, they feel for their compadres, especially after the big overlap this year, the big crossover show between Lower Decks and Strange New Worlds, ironically, how that was. But no, the most interesting bit about the whole day is we've got the standard release statement, joint statement between Alex Kurtzman and Mike McMahon. Alex and Mike are thanking everybody, right? They're still working to end 5. It's not completed. So it's a little bit the way Prodigy was when it was yanked and still working on a season that was being finished. But what's intriguing and giving people heart and pause is this second paragraph. And I quote, "We remain hopeful that even beyond season 5, Mariner, Boimler, Tendi, Rutherford, and the whole Cerritos crew will live on with new adventures." Now, what does that mean? Does that mean Paramount Plus small screen movies? Maybe. Does that actually mean shopping around to another streaming channel, as Prodigy did? Maybe. Now, it's a bold statement to include on the thank you out the door. Here's our statement, our commentary on the news that you're going to be reacting to. That's huge that that's even in there. And that it's, that it's corporately released. Now, what's different about the Prodigy situation is, remember, they were stripped off the platform. Had people talking about maybe this isn't about shopping around, because how would that play if the new channels, say it was Hulu or Netflix again, they would want to have the episodes sitting there on their own platform. But here's Paramount Plus already saying that, unstatedly, unlike Prodigy, Lower Decks is going nowhere. You can see all the old adventures, all the old missions, the first 4 seasons and 5 are still going to be on the platform. They've taken pains to say that. Would that work for another streamer to have it and they would have shared rerun capacity, shared re-binging, rewatching capacity? Maybe not. Maybe that points to the Paramount Plus movie idea. I don't know. But the fact is that it is there. What can people do? Maybe even to change this, since the season hasn't even aired yet? Well, there, of course, is a change.org petition already up. I've pointed to it on some of my sites. You can find, if you just go to change.org and type Lower Decks, I'm sure you'll get to it. So that will make you feel good in the short term. But it is not the solution. The solution is, as we say every time, watch Lower Decks. Spin that meter. Get those numbers up. It's going to take millions. Of course, we don't even know how the metrics on this thing works. It's going to take a lot of numbers, but it won't hurt. If you're feeling hurt and rot right now, sure, enjoy discovery right now. But in your spare time, spin the meter for Lower Decks. And look, the bottom line here is people are saying, but Lower Decks is just hitting its stride. It's a half-hour animation. Surely it's not on the same money plan, the business plan that the live-action hour-longs are. What is up with this? Right now, whatever rule book streaming had, they, Hollywood, the studios, the producers, the strikes last year, the economy, everything, it's out the window. I think people are back to square one on a lot of this metric. And, it's not, some of it comes from not being transparent. In the old days, Nielsen's rated the shows. We knew who was popular. We knew who was not. We knew who was on the bubble. How does even the streaming channel determine what's profitable? What do we even know the next 10 years are going to look like for profitability? We don't. What's worth keeping around? What's the formula for what's worth, an investment? How will maybe not an upfront profit look like for a long-term investment? We don't know. We don't know. And then you add to all that the uncertainty over the future of Paramount's ownership. Maybe we should all be celebrating the fact that Strange New Worlds, of course it should have been renewed, wound up being renewed at all. Everything else is up in the air. Well, okay. Starfleet Academy's on the way. The Section 31 movie, backdoor pilot movie, is on the way. So there's Trek happening. We just got the announcement of the Star Trek IV origin story movie, which is another. People are so confused. Everybody thinks it's a throwback to Enterprise. My God, the arguments I haven't seen for 20 years. I want to go forward. I want to go. Really? Are we going to rehash this again? No, Enterprise, the series, was not the origin story of Star Trek. It's the furthest back in time. But can I remind everybody, we still haven't seen the Romulan War. We haven't seen the founding of the Federation. We haven't even seen anything related really much to World War III. And even maybe some more about Cochrane and Bozeman and Lily Sloan. There is so much. The early years of the Federation and start merging the planets. But there's so much we could go back to as an origin story. That's clunky theater movie studio who's not used to dealing with the property in an ongoing way. Clunky marketing talk. All they can do is relate it to the first movie. They're not even relating it to the whole. So, yes, the thing I've been screaming for 20, 30 years, get the Romulan War on screen as canon. Can we please do that? Follow the books. Don't follow the books. Have it be a mashup of everything that's out there. But just do something. And that is not going backwards in time. That's boldly going forward for the franchise. But that's all in the mail. That has been in chaos too. So no one knows what's going to happen with the future of Paramount's ownership or partnership or whatever. Skydance seems to be the best deal. So I say that as who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what the guiding money principle is going on here? People think they know, but I think we've seen some of the emperor doesn't have the emperor that is the streaming business plan doesn't have all of its clothes on. Or maybe it's madly changing in the back room. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. We'll see what happens. But today, people who are hurting about this Lower Decks news, and yes, it does seem like it's nipped in the bud. And yes, when you're Mike McMahon and Alex Kurtzman and the entire cast, you are in the awkward position of, just like Gene was in 1968, 69, you're in the awkward position of thanking everybody for their support, being incredibly proud of your creation, and yet there's a little fight left in you. The doors are not all closed. The options are not all open. And that's what that final statement right there in the public statement had to say. So maybe nothing happens, but the fight is not over. The game is not given up, and we'll see what happens. Cerritos strong, everybody. Congrats again to everything coming down the pike with Strange New Worlds intrigued to see what this origin movie is about. Maybe at some point the Paramount Theater promotional people will get caught up on how to talk about the whole franchise in terms other than JJ movies. And we'll continue to watch the overall saga of the future of Paramount. Anyway, guys, gals, peeps, enjoy your Friday. Have a great weekend. I am now going to get back to painting. And we will see you next week, right? We'll see you first on Second Opinion coming over the weekend for episode 3 of Discovery, Janelle. And then we'll see you on Trekland Tuesdays Live and on down the pike. The Trek Files season finale with a very special guest is coming Tuesday as well. Trek well, everybody. Change.org, lower decks, and keep the meter running.